a lot of this seems to be facade. It's almost like a Potemkin village exercise in that there's all this regal display of something that, as one of your guests said earlier, nobody does it better than the British, but you always have to ask what lies behind the facade. And in terms of the future of the monarchy, you can't separate the future of the monarchy from the future of the country, and therefore the condition of the country has to be taken into account when you think how Charles can handle this. And the legacy is since I made that statement on that programme with you, Katie, there's been a whole wave of comment following up on that. In fact, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, when he arrived in London, announced that he was considering becoming a republic and doing away with the crown as the head of state. And this legacy, it requires something that I haven't seen coming from the Windsor family at any stage in recent history, which is it requires atonement. It requires acknowledgement of the true cost to those colonies of slavery, which began under Charles II in 1666, because he founded this thing with a very innocent title called the Royal Africa Company, which actually concealed a very evil enterprise, which was shipping slaves from Africa to the Caribbean colonies. About a quarter of those slaves died before they got there, chained below the decks. And then that was subsequently succeeded by colonial societies leading right through to the 20th century, in which the crown played the part of head of state. So although you can't lay the cost of slavery, the human cost and the terrible other costs of slavery, at the doors of the present monarchy or even at the Queen, the institution, the crown itself, is responsible. There's a continuity going right through to now. And you can see that because this situation was completely misjudged by Prince William when he went to the Caribbean earlier this year, because he hadn't been, although, I said that he hadn't been properly briefed, but I thought about that afterwards, and I thought, how can a guy who had the education that William had, he had one of the best educations you can get, how could he not know about this?